11. I'm Chang. They're my team members, Lu, Zelin, and Liang. Today we are going to do a presentation about interdisciplinarity. And this is our outline. We will start from introduction, and I will give you some basic ideas about each stage later. Firstly, I will introduce our discipline. We are from 4 different disciplines. My discipline is finance, Lu's is language science, Zelin's is environmental engineering, and management is Liang's discipline. So there is a question, how can we 4 work together? And what is our project? I can show you. Our project is about home automation system. It also can be called smart house system. And this is the definition of smart house system. It's a system which can control the house's light, temperature, water, and many other systems by utilizing the artificial intelligence. I also use some pictures to show you. So our company wants to build some apartments and houses and also install the smart house system. That means every apartment and house in our project we will build will be installed the smart house system by us together before we selling them. Then there is a question, why we do this project? Because there are several problems in the smart house market. Firstly, if householders install smart house system by themselves separately, the connections between the smart house system in one house is not good. And some customers consider that the smart house system is expensive and the management is not efficient. But our group can solve this problem because we are an interdisciplinary project. By using the knowledge of interdisciplinarity and working together, we can build more efficient and comprehensive connections between the smart house system in one house and make this project more environmentally friendly. Also, we can control the price and make the management more efficiently, even though for the after-sale management. For advancing our project, our 4 disciplines are all needed. For example, environmental engineering, they can be responsible for designing the internal structures of the house because we want to install the smart house system. The internal structure may be a little bit different from the normal ones. And also for language sciences, they can be responsible for the artificial intelligence. They can make connections between the machine's language and human's language. Also, because it is a business, so the knowledge of finance and management are absolutely needed. And Lu will present this part in detail later. Even though our disciplines are all needed, we still will make some problems and challenges. In stage 3, Zelin will firstly introduce if our disciplines can work together based on some theory, based on some lecture series, and also will mention some challenges we have made during our collaboration. Finally, we consider our group belongs to multidisciplinarity. And Liang will present this part, give you some reasons, and do some reflections. This is the basic introduction of our group. And now it's time to welcome Lu to present stage 2, each discipline's contribution and some new insights.
Thanks, Zhao. Let's move to stage 2. These different disciplines have huge contributions of their respective domains. For engineering, for environmental engineering, the internal structure of smart houses have a big difference from ordinary and traditional houses. And environmental engineers mainly provide the structure design, which relies on intensive computer data analysis for the house. Particularly, when environmentally friendly is one of the most crucial purpose of our project. Environmental engineering can contribute effective measures of energy efficiency. There are some technologies of smart houses related to environmental factors have been developed and applied. such as indoor induction system and Wales activity lighting. Another subjects related to technology is language science. Language scientists is close to the artificial intelligence. They bridge the gap between machines and the human, and they also enables the machine to decode abstract human language well. For language science, they join in the project, makes the projects taking people's needs as starting point, and consider the sense of comfort when people using it. In addition to about two crucial disciplines, finance departments fully considers the cost of construction materials, the return of project, and they making money to reducing costs and making profits. Besides, management wholly controls the entire projects, and specific tasks include human resources, market management, and safety enhancement. Besides, when others disciplined complained, the managers still needs to consider the maintenance and after sales service. In terms of new science, for environmental engineering, designers and engineers have to consider the environmental production, how to make the smart home become more environmentally friendly, such as some technologies in the selection of construction materials. And language scientists join into the project. They link to the machines and peoples, enables which is close to artificial intelligence, and make the speech recognition system more accurate. Doing so to improve the effective interaction between smart house system and the human. For finance, they consider the whole entire process to control costs, and for management, they make the plans for market-oriented. For example, some projects about smart houses are designed by social phenomenon of aging population. They consider how to improve living quality of elderly, and to consider more about how to improve people's life more safer and more dignified. So it's time for Zelin.
Thanks, Lu. I'm going to talk about the disabilities and the challenges of this project, and I'm going to divide my talk into two parts. Firstly, I'm going to talk about the prediction of whether the members discipline will or will not work well together. Then I will have a look at some possible challenges in this project. I will begin by talking about the feasibilities. We predict that we can work well together. According to Baker and Trowler, all of these disciplines are applied disciplines. So we will focus on the practical applications in this project. And when we have some problems, we will try to find the practical solutions. And however, according to Baker and Trotter, environmental engineering and language science are hard disciplines, and finance and management are soft disciplines. So there are some challenges. Okay, now let's turn to the challenges. Firstly, we don't know each other enough, because we have different knowledge backgrounds and different terminologies. So the communication will become difficult because we have different terminologies. For example, when I mention the word concrete, we may don't know the meaning of the word concrete sometimes. Secondly, we have different research methods. According to Campbell, environmental engineering and language science, which are hard disciplines, we tend to choose quantitative methods. But for people from finance and management, they tend to choose qualitative methods. For example, I don't like the research method from finance, such as questionnaire. I think it's too subjective. Thirdly, we have different ways of thinking. For example, for me, environmental engineering, I tend to spend more money on choose better materials and systems which is good for human health. But for finance people, they consider more about how to reduce the cost and get more benefits. They need to control the price. So we have different opinions on the cost. Finally, all of us are non-native speakers of English, and so the communication will be difficult because we have different concrete accent. We have different accents, so we may misunderstand what other people mean. So these are challenges. Now let's turn to my group mate, Liang.
Okay. Thank you for the link. Let's move to the final stage. I'm going to give a conclusion divided into 3 parts. The first part is interdisciplinarity. I will discuss some connections between our project with various types of interdisciplinarity. So, as my teammate mentioned, our project is multidisciplinary work, and there are literally have 4 types of interdisciplinarity. There are cross-disciplinarity, interdisciplinarity, multidisciplinarity, and transdisciplinarity. So our project is multidisciplinary work. At various definition of multidisciplinarity, it means one or several disciplines cooperate together to fix one project or addressing one issue. So, but still remain the distinct of their own disciplines, and is group work. And our project is exactly fits into his theory, where 4 disciplines play important roles in different areas of this project, and we contribute our efforts to fix this project, the smart house system, as we will meet some challenges which discussed before. Secondly, Barry et al. Also posed a theory about the delivery of mode of interdisciplinary work. There are three types: integrative synthesize mode, subordination service mode, and agonistic antagonistic mode. And our project belongs to the second type, subordination service mode. As the definition said, the subordination service mode is one or several disciplines are organized in the relation to the subordination to other disciplines. So some disciplines make up for absence in other disciplines. In terms of our project, environmental engineering and language sciences are the main disciplines. They design the main body of our project, the smart house system, and integrates the house design and intelligence houseware together. And the subordinate disciplines, management and finance, give the support to it by providing the market data or customers' feedbacks to it to enhance and improve this system. Okay. Thirdly, I will introduce some insights and future aspects of this interdisciplinary work. So, talk about the new insights we learned from it. The first is we learned adapting different types of methodologies. As my teammates mentioned, disciplines from hard applied and soft applied, they use different types of method to analyze or synthesize data. So during this work, we can learn the different methodology from other disciplines which we are not familiar with. So second, the knowledge or tools from other disciplines could be useful for us for the future study. It's like for soft applied, we use qualitative methods, so we just collect the opinions. But if we use quantitative method to collect like statistics, would be help us to give a better big picture of our research. So some future aspects. The first one is I think this group work is a rehearsal or could called practice for future interdisciplinary work. So after this, we can meet some challenges in advance, so you could be avoid in the future do the same interdisciplinary work. Secondly, for given this, we broaden our view of the academic research. We learn some different methods, different knowledge from different disciplines. So we can learn something new, and it will improve our research in the future. So this brings us to the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening. This is our reference list. If you have any question, we are happy to answer it. Thank you.
Could you all come and move in front of the screen? There we are. No, look. Perfect. Thank you. Some questions?
I have a question. You talked about controlling the price when you were talking about one of what your project will deliver. Could you tell me more about that? I think it was you, yes.
I think our advantage is, I mentioned before, if the householders install the smart house system separately after they buy in the house, then the cost they spend for install this system is much higher than we installed it before we sell it to them. We don't need to rebuild our house. We may consider the internal structures of the house.
Okay, thank you.
I just ask, in stage 2, did you talk about any insights that you gained from the other disciplines or the way they approach the project?
Yes, when other disciplines join into the project, the designers and engineers have to combine others' suggestions and consult their suggestions continuously during the project. So,
For example, they will consider the price when I mentioned the suggestion and choose different materials and better for the human, but also consider the cost, and we can make profits.
Okay. Anyone else? No? Okay, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Well done.